to improve my speed, my power, and my overall endurance running ability. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through some plyometric exercises that I do in the gym to improve my speed, my power, and my overall endurance running ability. Now I guarantee the majority of you do not do any plyometric exercises in your weekly workouts, gym sessions, and just your weekly training in general. So sit back, relax, and let me teach you some exercises you can simply introduce into your training weeks to improve your running. So guys, what are plyometric exercises? Plyometric exercises are exercises that focus on improving your speed, your power, and your overall kind of muscle explosiveness. By incorporating simple movements like jumps, hops, skips, we can use plyometric exercises to improve our ability to kind of ping off the floor, reduce the muscle energy it requires to do that, and also the power that we can generate with each muscle contraction. This is going to improve our speed, our efficiency, and reduce the overall fatigue we're getting with every stride. This is going to long term lead to running quicker and also staying injury free. So it's going to be useful to understand the mechanism behind plyometric exercises. So plyometric exercises use the stretch shortening cycle in which the muscle shortens, has a short period of no kind of contraction, so isometric, staying the same length, and then eccentric, so it's lengthening. This allows us to generate lots of power by keeping that phase in the middle nice and short, so the muscle is going from long to short to long very quickly. But just before we begin on the exercises, I just want to clarify I am not a plyometric exercise. I have not got any qualifications in strength and conditioning or anything like that. So this is purely just exercises that I like to do and I found really benefit my running, and I've seen great improvements and results since. Now I would just like to kind of hammer home that you do need to do a proper warm-up before doing these exercises, and if you've done none of these before, I would start off by adding one in, maybe a couple times a week, and gradually progress, add a little bit more in each time. Don't go full whack to doing all 5 of these in your first go, because they are pretty high intensity and they may lead to injury if you do them improperly. So just take your time, less is more, as they say. So just introduce them slowly, do them properly, make sure you're properly warmed up, make sure you've stretched, make sure you've done some mobility work as well, and then you'll see the most benefits from these basically. So guys, we're going to start off with skipping. This is probably my favourite one. It always kind of makes me look a bit weird in the gym. Not many people do skipping, but I have to say I've seen some really incredible benefits from this. Just teaches you some really good coordination, and also just gets you on your feet, on your toes, gets you nice and warmed up. So the idea of this is just trying to make your ground contact time as little as possible, so trying to really spring off those toes. And if you can incorporate a bit of dorsiflexion, which is bringing up those toes towards the knee or towards the shin, that's going to increase your mobility as well. Now you can do some more advanced variants of this, so like single leg like I'm doing here, but I have to warn you, these do get tiring pretty quickly. And again, you look like a bit of a weirdo in the gym. This is something that I've kind of come to terms with, and yeah, I don't seem to worry about it anymore. But yeah, you can usually find a functional room at most gyms where you can do this. But yeah, making sure, cleans come in the background. So yeah, just keep your form and don't go crazy. Second one is toe taps. So yeah, these are, I didn't really know what to call these, but yeah, essentially just try and get like a raised platform, and just trying to alternate, switching between tapping with your toe and tapping the floor, trying to make these as quick as possible. As I said, trying to reduce that ground contact time. So here's a different angle, as you can see, just trying to really minimize my time on that floor. This is going to really give me that good quality calf activation, but also kind of helping bring those knees up, that hip flexion. So yeah, here's a different angle, as you can see. I found this is really helping with my cadence and my turnover, so I'm able to kind of get that stride kind of operating quicker. So I didn't really know what to call these. So basically what you're going to want to do with these POGO jumps is lay a line on the floor. It can be tape, it can be a skipping rope, and you're going to jump over it essentially. It's a bit like speed bounce if you ever did that at school. So basically you can do this side to side, forwards and backwards. You can even do like side to side and then make it a bit more difficult. So kind of hopping forward, a bit like I'm doing here. And this is going to train different muscles to change from different directions. A lot of runners do kind of neglect muscles such as their adductors and abductors. So these are going to be quite useful, especially the side to side ones. Don't worry about the line being too straight. As you can see, I wasn't too fussed about the skipping rope. And quite often I did stand on it. Again, you can make these a bit more advanced if you move on to one foot, but my calves are getting pretty tired by this point, and as I'd like to reiterate, I wouldn't advise doing all of these exercises in one go unless you're pretty advanced and you've done lots of plyometrics before, as there is a pretty high injury risk. But yeah, so moving on to, again, didn't know what to call these, broad jumps. I guess you kind of did a similar sort of thing at school. So we're going to start off by simply jumping up and landing on the floor. But with this, you really want to make sure you're sticking that landing. So ensuring that your knees are bent no more than 90 degrees, because your injury risk goes up dramatically when you bend your knees past 90 degrees. So yeah, jumping up as high as you can, or as far as you can, but making sure that the landing is clean. There's no point jumping far if you then fall over at the end. So this is going to be really good for that kind of big explosive movement, and also that landing is working on the opposite. So you're kind of lengthening the muscles when you jump, shortening some muscles when you come back, and vice versa. You can do this from side to side on single legs. I just kind of added this in as a variation. You can also do it on one leg like I did earlier for the other exercises. Just watch what you do with your hands, because I don't know what I had going on here, a bit of T-Rex arms. And the fifth and final exercise is box jumps. Now these are probably the most difficult of the 5, so I'd make sure that you're definitely warmed up before these. But the height doesn't matter, you can do it on something that's 2 inches off the floor. And as you kind of get a bit more advanced and you find you're succeeding at these, you can add a slightly bigger platform, I guess. As you're about to see here, I tried a platform that was maybe a little bit too high for me, but we got it done. But yeah, you really want to make sure that when you're coming down off this platform that you do take care. You don't want to be kind of twisting knees, twisting ankles, that sort of thing when you come down. So yeah, no point rushing them. And again, you want to stick the landing. You can add some variants in where you're kind of hopping from something with the drop in the middle. So as you can see here, drop to the middle, jump up onto the 20, I think it's 20 inches. I'm not really sure what that is. But yeah, anyway, so box jumps, really useful for that explosive movement, and you can do one-legged as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy these exercises. Back to you, Cole, in the studio. So guys, I hope you did enjoy that video going over some kind of simple plyometric exercises that you can incorporate into your training. Just to reiterate and just kind of really hammer home that you do need to make sure you are warmed up. These can be pretty tricky and pretty kind of high injury risk exercises if you do them incorrectly. So just make sure you're taking care. It's better to do them like a few amount properly than to do lots incorrectly, if that makes sense. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed. I'm not an expert, but hopefully a little bit of this knowledge has been kind of imparted to you, I guess. And yeah, hopefully you found it useful. If you've got any tips for me, plyometric exercises, drop them down below. I do more advanced ones in my own kind of training regimes, but I thought some of these ones would be really useful for you guys to kind of introduce them if you don't do any at all. But I can make a more advanced video down the line if people find it useful. So let me know down in the comments. Let me know down in the comments if you found it useful. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, share with your running buddies. And yeah, if it's easy, then what's the point? Because sitting here in my freezing cold room recording this video was not easy. But I'll catch you in the next one.